Hello, my friends. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm doing fantastically as I am in my chromatic Demon Slayer-esque shirt. That's what I'm calling it. I hope everyone is doing wonderfully tonight. I hope everyone's doing a good time. It's been a good time here. You know why it's been a good time? Because of all the shows on the channel. So many shows. We got shows every day of the week almost, and probably will end up having shows every day of the week in the near future. Because why not? If I'm awake, I can be working on something. Rest is for the not awake. Speaking of rest for the not awake, here are shows. On Monday night, we have the Strength of Thousands AP. Matt runs that. We're playing through the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path. McKenna's playing a witch. I'm playing a summoner and a cultist. And Abby and Cooper aren't in that one, but we have Zoe and Aaron who are playing a bard and a wizard. Next up, we have, of course, on Tuesday nights, Will's Fun Night of Tuesday Games. It's just been cozy games lately. We played Minecraft yesterday. I found frogs. I befriended the frogs. I've made a frog sanctuary. The frogs are our friends.
King.
Yeah. I'm just going to say this also. I liked frogs before they were cool.
So true, Will.
And before they were icons. Next up, we also have on Wednesday the League of Amazing Adventures. It's what you're watching right now. On a related note, because of this show, Happy Pride. Then on Thursday, we're off on Thursday, but in the coming weeks, I'm looking to start a Pathfinder Society show on Thursday nights. So keep an eye out for that. That should be fun. Have some new faces, have some old faces, have some faces of faces of faces. You'll see what that one's about. Then on Friday, we have the Calling Chronicle. It's our D&D 5e show. That one's getting a new cast member when we start the next campaign. And League might be getting... I forgot to talk to you all about this. I'm thinking 1 or 2 people for League. We'll talk about it after. But the Calling Chronicle is getting a new cast member after this next one. They're great. I've never met them, but Rose and McKenna have spoken so highly of them that...
Can vouch.
The vibe check has been passed. Then on Saturday, we have Salt and Sorcery with Will and Matt. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
If we ever want to see Matt get salty, we'll do a Hearthstone stream. Then on Sunday...
Get eyes.
You can't say I'm wrong. Then on Sunday...
Oh, no. I choke on it. I choke on the salt.
Then on Sunday, we have Stardew Sunday, a nice chill stream to end the week, or start it, depending on whether you think Sunday's the start of the week or the end of the week. And yeah, that's where I'm playing Stardew Valley. It's great. We're in winter. It's Alessandra Lily. It's the happy Alessandra.
Ouch.
When you're right, you're right.
It's the happy Alessandra who is enjoying her time being a farmer and fishing and mining and relaxing. And yeah, you can come and chat with me there. I tend to talk a lot about game design, and like there's usually some spoilers for this campaign and other campaigns in that stream. Like I talk about like things, encounters I'm planning, etc. Squishy Werewolf hangs out with us and talks about television shows. We talk about FGO. That's a selling point for some people and a not selling point for others. McKenna.
What's the opposite of the selling point? Like, what do you
A turn off.
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
I didn't want to use turn off on stream because I think I don't want the internet going to weird places.
Oh, Will. It's way too late for that.
It is.
It's the internet, baby.
It's not Monday night though, so I'm safe from one particular type of joke. But those are all of our shows. And so here are our cast members for this show. We have Cassandra playing Abby, playing Cassandra / Corellia. Fun fact, there is a punk rock musical about the Greek character that Abby based the character's name off of.
Is it
Literally
Hades
called-
Town?
No. It's
Oh.
at Fringe. It's at Fringe. You can go see it.
Oh.
It is literally called Cassandra.
Yep.
That's the name of the musical, and it's like, I think it's like a
Okay.
jukebox musical, with a bunch of punk rock songs that is about like the prophet Cassandra.
One salt.
He did not have a happy ending.
We may have like one Salt and Sorcery off this month just because I kind of want to see that show, and they're doing some virtual performances on Saturday nights. Speaking of Fringe and someone who's having to adjudicate a bunch of Fringe shows, and by extension, I'm getting to hear about a bunch of the LA Fringe shows. We have McKenna playing our other Oracle, Nim. McKenna is also responsible for all the token artwork you see on the channel, so if you want to commission them, probably not for the next little while because McKenna's incredibly busy, but you can find them at McKenna Ray Art on TikTok. And your mic's not picking you up, McKenna.
I said as well as everywhere else on the internet. But speaking of TikTok,
New TikTok?
yeah. Oh, up. Wow, I got botted, and I got put in the timeout corner for 5. I got put on timeout.
I know. I'm sorry. There's been some hate raid stuff going on, so I've kind of locked down. I'll turn that off. Give me a minute.
Wow, I got botted by my own bot. It truly do be your own people sometimes.
I'm sorry.
It's true. It really do be your own.
Links to say.
It's how we learn.
Yeah, it's how I learn whenever I'm using like a new tool on stream.
It's a trial and
I
error
could make that like a blocked phrase, Mark, but I haven't yet because content.
Everything is
that.
content.
We have,
Someone
speaking
tries to
of
troll
content, we have Cooper.
Hello.
Cooper playing Links, our Links to the Past, our
Hello.
Archaeologist, our Alchemist, one of the most powerful classes in PF2.
The only class that actually makes content.
Yes.
Stop. It's true.
Not Lynch being an influencer.
I'm having what the kids may call a sleepy little evening,
That's fair.
but I am here,
And
and I am queer.
of
Happy Pride, man.
Speaking of sleepy little evenings and people who have been very tired, Matt has been very tired because I've been working Matt to the bone, making UI and other things for this channel, as well as painting a Warhammer army for me.
My work is never finished.
Matt plays.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Matt plays Garland Chip tonight. It's going to be a party. Matt has told me about some plans they have for the Westerns intro, and I'm very excited for it. And because I need to be better at doing this about myself, hi, I'm Will. I'm GMing this show. You can find me at Tabletop Rolls pretty much everywhere online. Also, share this with your friends. We're almost halfway to my follower goal for this year of 300, so, help me get there. Have some fun.
Spread us around like some sort of, I don't know,
Like
computer
chia
virus.
seeds for a chia pet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that woman who has a chia. Spread us around like that person who has 1,000 frogs in their backyard.
1,000? I mean, it is at least 1,000.
Yeah.
That's certainly one way to put it.
Remember,
it is also at least 1.5 million.
remember, it's not an ecological disaster if it's frogs. But that is all of our announcements. That is all of our show notes. So here's our intro, and then we'll see you all on the other side, because you got character. Last time. Yes, Matt?
I just wanted to share a hot tip for everyone. If you keep getting your lunch stolen at work, put a ghost pepper in it.
Yes, last time on the League of Amazing Adventurers, our party spent the evening in Nim's resplendent mansion. I got the name right? Yeah, okay, I didn't mess it up. Good. Yes, they spent the evening in Nimbus's resplendent mansion. Nim and Alessandra cuddled. Garl turned some trees into a hammock. Lynx did some work. Corellia and Alessandra gossiped for the evening. Had some good old time. It was fun. Upon the ending of which we zoomed out, found Drevin bringing back some intelligence that they have gathered to the camp. Intelligence that said basically if there was even one wasted evening, the world would likely come to an end.
So let's make this a 2-evening thing in the mansion.
Yeah.
And
just to clarify too, so we all got a good night's rest. So back to full hit.
Yes, you all got a full night's rest. And as an added bonus, Garl discovered they had a peanut allergy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we did.
For a second there, I thought you were about to say something else that was really weird.
But speaking of your night of rest, we're actually going to pick things up towards the beginning of it, as basically Alessandra heads out of your room. Cassandra says, "Alright, it's getting a little bit late. I should let you get to sleep, or, you could find other company." And she just points to the fact that she subtly left the door open a little bit for you, and Alessandra just glides out of the room. Have a good night, Garl.
Good night. I would just like to say, though, a moment after Alessandra leaves, though, there is another knock knock at Garl's door.
Oh.
Garl goes and opens it, and Chip is standing there with a little bag with him. Says, hello, Garl. It occurs to me I don't know your last name. If you have, no. Like, oh, okay, that's great. This is going to be a bit of an odd request because you and I don't know each other very well. You seem to be good bosom companions with the rest of the group, but I had a request. I'll just lay it out there. Can I have some of your blood? Are you asking me to have a fight? Oh, no. I'm sure you would crush me like some sort of small insect. I'm a doctor, a healer of sorts, and I'm a little concerned about a few things, including your episode with the food over dinner, and I just wanted to take a little blood, run some tests, and let you know if I discover anything that you should be concerned about. Hold on a moment. Garl closes the door in Chip's face, not abruptly, and wanders over to the still open connecting bathroom. Cassandra?
Shuffle. Yeah?
Is it okay if I give the rat some of my blood?
You mean the professor?
Yes, the professor.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I trust the professor with my life.
Did he ever ask you for your blood?
Cassandra thinks. She's like, I don't recall, but he's definitely had plenty of opportunities to get some.
I'm not going to think about that too much. Thanks. Goes back to the door, opens it, and Chip is just kind of like,
blood?
Everything good? Yes. And Garl like holds out a wrist and starts to pull out like a small knife. Like, nope, none of that. For one thing, that knife does not look clean. Let's go sit on your, okay, not the hammock. That would be weird to try and draw blood while you're swinging back and forth. Let's just sit on the floor. Okay. And over the course of just a couple minutes, Chip does a proper medical procedure to draw some blood. Though very specifically, he uses the largest stemmed needle he has, and specifically takes some blood, fills about 3 little vials with it, holds it up to the light, looking at it, his eyes narrow a little bit. Shakes a little bit. All right. Thank you, Garl. Make sure to keep pressure on that for about a minute, and I will let you know if I find anything. Thank you for being so cooperative. Kind of, his head slowly tilts and notices the connecting bathroom now, and probably light coming through the open door on the other end. Do you need anything else? Looks the size of Garl up and down. Ice pack, maybe? You know what? None of my business. Good night. He gets up and just walks swiftly out of the room. And Chip is just going to spend the night pulling out a little collapsible microscope that he built himself, and is going to be looking at slides of Garl's blood.
You see, specifically, make a medicine check just to see how well you analyze it. I'm curious.
And it should be noted, Will, what Chip is specifically looking for, he is concerned about possible sediment in Garl's blood.
You'll see. Make a medicine check.
Yeah, this is Chip's. 39.
Success. Upon examining Garl's blood, a couple of things show as interesting. Number one, Garl has a higher red blood cell count than most people.
I mean, that's good, I suppose.
Yes, more oxygen. But the thing about the red blood cells is that many of Garl's red blood cells have crystalline fragments on them.
Oh, that's very not good.
The red blood cells themselves are growing crystals. Appears as though Garl's crystals are a cellular level thing.
Oh, that's very not good, because that could go into her brain.
Oh no!
Yeah, and also, tiny sharp things, maybe, shredding the inside of her veins. Well, I'm just going to keep running tests for the evening. Hopefully, I maybe made a mistake. And Chip is just going to keep testing.
Garl's body is a medical marvel. I'm just saying this.
I'm not sure marvel is the word I would use.
If we go down the route of examining Garl's body on a medical level, it's going to be a bit of a rabbit hole.
The trypophobia that is Garl's back.
Why'd you tell me that, Cooper?
You're welcome. It's the first thing I thought of.
I need a second, y'all. Sorry. Okay, I'm good. So, take me a second. I've told this story in private to McKenna before, but I Googled what that was once, and I discovered I clearly have it because I was literally unable to move for half an hour after Googling it. But
every single edited photo to really just mess with your brain.
Thanks a lot, Google image search.
Bye.
But, Chip, as you're heading back to your room, you go and do that. Cassandra, you have your stuff. Elisandra eventually comes back to bed, and then into that scene with the dropping and the 1-inch kiss and the.
Very magical.
Or is she like I need some space to be able to sleep kind of person?
She is a whatever
Very restless.
whatever Nim ends up doing, she'll go with type of person.
Bless her heart.
It's one of those things where if Nim goes in for the cuddle, she'll gladly take the cuddle. If Nim doesn't go in for the cuddle, she's not going to push the issue.
Oh yeah, well then they're cuddling.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There's much cuddling and hair petting. She probably literally falls asleep running her fingers through your hair.
Ditto. That's
Although that's a little bit more difficult for Nim to do because her hair's shorter, right? It's.
She's got the floof.
Yeah, there's the floof, but unless you're oh, hey, fair enough. We can figure out the mechanics of hair floofing on our own time. But yes, you all have a lovely evening's rest. The next morning, you are all awoken by various woodland creatures.
Excellent. Little sparrow.
Nice.
Darl makes an actual effort not to just eat any of them.
I mean, there's gonna be a whole fucking breakfast spread downstairs, so.
Exactly.
There's a whole breakfast spread, but in the interest of breaking our record, we will not discuss it in detail. And yeah, you're given breakfast. You all have made your daily preparations. What would y'all like to do next?
So we wanted to explore the school today. I am a little bit worried about what I saw in Ray's old room last night, but I think there's still all of like the weaponry to liberate, and just to make sure the school is actually clear.
I think Cassandra looks maybe like a little tired and possibly slightly hungover from the drinking the night before. So she's just like, sure. Like, she clearly did not get a lot of sleep last night.
Casual girl boss.
Your mic's not picking you up, McKenna.
Fuck, goddamn, Oh, the volume got turned down, that's why. Is something wrong with your room, Cassandra? Did you get much sleep?
Oh, no, it was a lovely room. I was just not in my mind.
You're just ungrateful?
Yes, I'm afraid I kept her up a bit talking, Alessandra says.
And then I was reading a little. I lost track of time.
Fair enough. I was hoping this was going to be restorative, but I think I may have created a distraction.
Oh, it's fine. It's not
It would have happened without your help.
It's not like the world's going to end if we take a night off.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine. I also wanted to discuss what you guys thought we should do after this, because I was thinking maybe we might want to start clearing Brighthall for the Resistance to move into it. Because if we just liberate it and leave, it's probably just going to fall back into disrepair.
If the necromancer is dead, and they are, we made sure of that, much of the undead that were roaming the streets will probably have died with them. Shouldn't be anything the Resistance can't handle cleaning up on their own. I believe the professor would do a decent job training their students if our encounters in the past are anything to base it off of.
I do recommend that if we have the ability, we should probably check in with the base, though. Things can change quickly these days in this particular area of the world, and we don't want to either miss opportunities or fall too far behind on new problems.
Yes, that's fair. All right, well then, we'll take care of what we need to take care of at the school today, and I will send them a sending as soon as we can.
Alright, a good meeting. I will meet you all outside. And Alessandra stands up and starts walking out.
Yeah.
Cassandra's just like...
Nim slides her a cup of coffee.
Face falls in the coffee.
And Cassandra, please.
Blue juice.
Juice.
I have something possibly for this, and Garl rummages through her small little bags of stuff that she's carried from, all the way from like the Madiscard wastes, and pulls out this little pod and just kind of places it underneath Cassandra's nose and crushes it, and the most terrible, like, sharp smell just emerges from that. It's like a smelling salt, like to wake you up.
She reels backwards, falling out of her chair while gagging.
Garl, what on earth?
No, it worked. It worked. I'm awake. Thank you, Garl.
Don't ask what it is.
Oh. Well, then let us take our leave.
Takes that advice. Simply decides for once to let well enough be well enough.
Yeah. Garl says, now I have to go wash my hand. Excuse me. Finds the hottest basin of water and just scrubs like a layer of skin off her 2 fingers.
All right. I think Nim packs up her stuff and meets Alessandra outside.
Alessandra's just kind of standing in what was an ice field yesterday, but overnight it has already melted and it's turned back into that courtyard of the school.
Puddles.
Cassandra just goes like hopping into all the
Splash,
puddles.
splash, splash, splash.
As she should.
Yes.
As she should.
Now that she's extremely awake.
As Garl is now making her way outside as well, feels a little tug, quite probably low on her pant leg. And there is Professor Chip. He's like, Garl, if I could just have a moment of your time for a moment. It just occurs to me, I'm going to assume you can read a little bit. And he pulls out this little card he's made for Garl and says, it's just a simple thing that says, feeling bad, talk to Chip.
So true.
And apropos to nothing, Garl, if you are ever feeling like something's a little off or you're having some unexplained pain, like a bad headache or something, remember this card and come and see me, or at least remember to look at the card, and then the card will tell you to come and see me. So you don't have to remember to come and see me, just remember to look at the card. Maybe you can hang it on something. And I'll do what I can to fix you up. Okay. How was the blood? Was the blood good? Yeah, yes, Garl. It was fine. Thank you.
Well, now
okay.
We got bad blood.
And
not to interrupt, but wouldn't that be a deception check?
Yes, it would be a deception check.
I mean, between
40.
Garl and Chip.
Garl's, and that's perception. Well, how do you do it against?
It's your perception DC.
Yeah, no, Garl has no idea.
When was the professor? When did he get so good at lying?
Well, deception is a charisma thing, and Chip, as he leveled up, put more points into charisma. Mostly because I, for some reason, was going down the intimidation field, so I needed.
Okay.
Plus, the professor is also just very good at dissembling.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily outright lie, but is very good at obfuscating.
King.
Just kind of pats Garl's leg, and they both walk out of the mansion.
But yes. So as you are all exited the mansion pops out of existence.
Wow.
With a slight meow.
Chip's tail stands on end for a second.
All right, maybe let's check on the weapons first.
Yes. Do you all want to head down into the League's armory?
Certainly. Can't see a reason not to.
All right, so you all make your way down to that familiar corridor. And Chip, being the current head and accompanied, of course, in one way or another, by all of you, Chip is able to get the door open, just with them being there. It's magically attuned to them. It just slides open. And inside of the armory is a number of things, including a very large hole in the roof. As it looks like a number of things had been stolen or broken here. However, there are a couple of items, including one of which is that which is still on its pedestal, a large blunderbuss-looking rifle.
Ooh, Professor.
That has like a sort of a thorny attachment to it. The professor would recognize this as the Godric's glass cannon. And here's what it does. It deals a d12 of damage on a ranged attack per level to an enemy of the person using it. So for example, at level 18, you're all proficient in it. It's scaled up to the highest weapon proficiency you have. It deals a d12 of your damage per level. However, upon its firing, you are immediately reduced to 1 hit point and become doomed 1.
Oof. Oof.
Ace in the hole.
Goodness.
Upon it being fired by a person, if it is fired again by the same person, they are instead immediately brought to dying 2 and become doomed 2, meaning that if they fail the next save, they die. And any more just basically fire the shot to kill the person firing it.
Okay.
It is a artifact level weapon.
Oof.
But it is a cursed weapon technically, so do with that as you will. In something that's probably a bit more towards Nim and Cassandra's fancy, in what appears to be a holder of umbrellas and things, there is a singular broom that is there, which is a broom of flying.
Adorable. I very much hand that to Cassandra immediately.
Ooh.
I have my own methods of flight now, so perhaps we can go on a ride together sometime.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
There is also a set of mithril plate.
Oof.
To give you an idea, mithril armor is 1 bulk lighter than the normal light of bulk. It's easier to wear than normal metal armor, reducing the strength score necessary to ignore the check penalty by 2 and reducing the speed penalty by 5 feet.
Wow.
But as a full set of mithril plate, that is worth 32,000 gold. In addition to the mithril plate, in a sort of back corner of the room, there is a locked cupboard that Chip has a key for, inside of which are a variety of tinctures, including a vial that has remained fully intact of black lotus extract poison.
Oof.
Wow.
I think I confiscated that at one point.
Yes. In addition, there are 4 true elixirs of life. And there is 1 greater Bomber's Eye elixir.
I suppose we could have or at least the names of all these things thrown up in a chat somewhere.
Or maybe put into party loot. That might be.
Yeah,
I will add
the easiest way to do
party
it.
loot.
Do we have party loot for the league?
We sure do. I don't keep up with this one the same way I keep up with the Strength of Thousands one, because it is kind of split. There is a list of party loot, and then there's also a tab of party loot. It's kind of...
Oh, we haven't had our walking cauldron with us this whole time, waddling beside us.
I think technically we gave it to Alessandra, and I don't know if she kept up with it.
Because she was such a witch.
Because maybe she wanted a friend. I don't know, but now she has friends.
So the downside about me doing this handout is that you have to deal with my terrible spelling.
Lynx definitely takes the greater Bomber's Eye elixir. Gives it a look over, gives it an investigation, figures out what it's used for. It's much below my crafting level, but I will absolutely jot this down as like a little specials tab in my formula book.
There is 5 plus 3 plus 3 armor runes.
Oh, wow.
And there is also what appears to be a small pair of hand cymbals that you all recognize as one of the instruments of woe.
I thought these were destroyed. Chip?
Well, some were incidentally destroyed in the course of adventures, others were still intact, and I was concerned that destroying them could, blow up the school or people around it, or simply release the energies back into the world where some evil wizard would reform them through magic or something, so I tried to lock them up.
Okay, I'm sorry. Out of character.
I think we've had this...
General who, I believe it was Sterling Block, the first one?
Yes.
Had collected all of them, and that was...
He had collected all of them, and they were all destroyed in front of you all. There's this one right here somehow.
Okay, well, then
and
retract what I just said.
Just the one symbol?
Just
or...
the two little hand symbols.
I say we smash it with a hammer.
Well, how is it... No, but how is it here? Because we personally watched them all be destroyed.
Well, is this one that we dealt with?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, actually. We stole it from the train. If memory serves.
It is.
We only got one of them, but,
They're both here, though.
regardless, General Block had them all, including this set.
This set is here somehow.
What was that, Will?
This set is here somehow.
Aura check?
Yes. Would you like to use Read Aura?
I just can read auras naturally now. 'Cause I got that
Necromancy.
third eye. Necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
Ruh-roh.
Necromancy with a little bit of conjuration kind of hovering around them.
Can I make some sort of...
I believe conjuration.
Arcana or religion check to see if I can figure out what the fuck happened to this?
Let me quickly confirm that it is conjuration and not another school of magic. I just need to make sure I don't get this wrong. T-I... Also, there's the items list. There it is. I apologize. Transmutation, not conjuration. They changed the type of spell that it is between first and second ed. Your mic is not picking you up, McKenna.
I still want to make some kind of check to see if I can figure out what happened.
Yeah, this would be a Arcana check.
Okay.
Is it possible that the instruments are fixed points in time? They can only be temporarily destroyed.
No, but these are the item. You can tell that these are the item. It's the same item that you had, but the transmutation aura around them is odd. Now, you know that there are arcane spells that let you fiddle with time, but nothing to this extent.
Oh my.
I will relay that to the party, but at present I don't think I have anything else in my arsenal that would let me research this further. Maybe Professor?
I am afraid that despite my best research, I am still not exactly what one would call a student terribly of the arcane. If I had known that, just to clarify, Will, because, we weren't with Chip for so long, did Chip know this was here?
No, this is new to you.
Okay. This is new to me.
So true.
If I still had the resources and the manpower of it at my disposal as the head of the league, I would, at the very least, bury this thing under a few stories of liquid stone. At the moment, at the very least, we cannot leave this here.
Goodness, no. But what do we do with it?
Keep it in your possession.
Well, if we can ascertain the nature of it, of what it can do, and as long as it is not harmful, it's possible we could use it. I know they are instruments of woe, but any tool is potentially an instrument of woe, so to speak, if used improperly.
Lynx, you wouldn't happen to know anything more about this, as it is a magical item?
I would love to give it a peek. I'm certainly confused about this myself.
You can make an occultism
Can I
check.
investigate it, Will, in terms of a non-fungible magic item?
Yeah, make me an occultism check.
Occultism, you heard. Got it.
They're non-fungible.
Nice, that's a success, Lynx. This reminds you, the general aura around this item reminds you of a battle you had in Magiscard Wastes. Specifically against a group of hounds that would teleport to angular points at the walls that were known as Keepers of Time, or creatures that were of time magic related. There's definitely something related to time magic around this item.
Something's not right here.
Sell for lots of gold. Yeah, that's a safe idea, chat. No one who could offer us enough money for this would use this for good.
Treladar would buy it for a few 100,000 gold.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
And then use it.
Gold that they would shoot at us out of a
Millie
cannon.
Bobby Brown has your current location.
What?
Nothing, don't worry about it.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride, man.
Babadook.
Well, I guess if there's nothing more we can learn about it, here at least, I suppose we ought to just move on and scour the rest of the school carefully, because I'm a little bit worried this isn't the only thing out of place.
I would agree with that.
I wonder about this instrument of woe coming back like this. I've heard tell of 7 wish-granting orbs that, once they're used, are scattered all over the world to random locations.
Wrong world.
Hmm?
Wrong world, Chip.
It was in a book. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm just wondering if this is...
100 lotus petals in the Calling Chronicle. We've been through this.
Oh,
It was in a book.
I was barely there for any of that.
That's
That's
fair.
fair.
I read about it in a book.
Yes.
Roll library lore.
What was the name of the book? It was Shut the Hell Up. But I just wonder if it's the thing, if the instruments are destroyed, if they essentially just reappear in various places, which is a concerning thought, but I have no evidence to support this theory beyond this one.
We did have evidence to support that theory. That was the whole thing about the instruments, is that if you destroyed them, they would just pop up someplace else. But that's why we destroyed them the way that we did, because that was supposed to end them permanently. But if Lynx is saying this is time magic, it might not be a matter of them reappearing. It might be a matter of someone deliberately going and retrieving them.
Well, we could think ourselves into old age, standing here and hypothesizing about it. We have one instrument in front of us, and we have other goals to accomplish. So, for the moment, the best we can do, I believe, is take this one and keep thinking about what we could maybe do. But
that's about my opinion of it as well. I don't know how much good there is to sit around theorizing about it.
We'll never reach what's over the horizon if we don't take a few steps forward.
What I'm kind of wondering is if there's some way we could maybe retrace or track it were this to occur again.
I feel like that might take some very specific magics.
If only you had someone who's an expert in divination magic in your party.
We have some incredible oracles here. So.
I'll think about it. There might be something I can do.
Alright, so as y'all move on, and continue to make your way through the rest of the school. It's largely untouched. Parts of it that were frozen are no longer frozen. And yeah, that's really the gist of it, essentially. Like, the school appears to be in relatively okay shape. It's not in terrible shape. It's not in terrible shape. It's not in great shape. And like, as you're looking about, like, as you go and look about the city a little bit, you also see that largely the city is actually pretty well preserved.
The way you describe the city, it's well preserved, like found a body that has been, freeze dried.
I mean, the city itself.
There's not a lot of like burning and looting, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of melting and flooding, but that can be dealt with.
Since we're looking through the school, I'm assuming we don't find anything else out of place?
No.
What the fuck is going on in Ray's room?
Oh, it's just Ray's room. It's just a room. You go in there.
Nothing in there?
Nothing in
Ray's room.
I think I can activate like an 8th level true sight with the third eye magical item, and I do that and look around to make sure that yes, she truly is not there. There is nothing there. We are fine.
I think I can do this, so I'm going to.
With an 8th level true sight.
As you look around, for a second you see movement, but then it's gone.
Would you stop that? I can see something. Something is in here. I can read auras too, if there's any kind of magic or anything to that effect.
As you go to activate, as you're looking for the aura to read, there's just, it was there for a second, it was there too quickly to read, and now it's just gone.
Wigless in Seattle.
What was the point of showing it to us if we can't learn anything about it?
Spooky.
Scary.
It's called world building. No.
Be when it's called world building.
So there's nothing I can do to chase after it or anything?
It looks like the effect of whatever was causing it has fully dissipated at this point. It looks like you caught the last few embers of it.
Just one thing I did want to mention. If we have some more time later, I am though I'm sure Lynx could probably do a much better job, I am perfectly capable of distributing. We got 5 + 3 armor runes. I could try imbuing that into someone's accoutrements. Or Lynx could. I'm sure he's got a better crafting check than me.
Think, out of character, all of our armor is +3 now.
Chips isn't,
so Chip can have one for sure.
Then maybe Chip can use his big boy words.
But we were all outfitted by the citizens of Zaragoza. So we could sell them. Arguably, these characters may be more inclined to give them to, the rebels.
Ascendancy, Beatrix, Alessandra.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The girl
Also,
bosses.
just a quick question, Will. Am I kind of interpreting this right? That the only benefit of mithril armor is that it's lighter for whatever type it is.
Yes.
It doesn't like decrease the dex penalty for an armor type.
It does not.
Okay, so
Mithril. We're going to see the elves.
I'll have to look up the difference between plate armor and splint, because it still might be worth it to give it to Garl, and she'd be all shiny.
Shiny Garl.
Yeah, I guess barbarians can wear armor.
Yes, it's
in
just
Pathfinder,
that I think. Well, plate probably has a pretty high dex cap, and so I might actually be losing more AC than gaining.
Woof.
But yes,
Hate that.
So,
yeah.
Upon you will basically clear the city, and it looks like it'd be safe for people to come here and start rebuilding.
I mean, assuming one of the other dragons doesn't want to expand their territory now.
Poke my head into my old apartment.
oddly enough, it's remained completely untouched.
Oh, that can't be right.
That's worrying.
I think Nim scours it.
I'm assuming, Nim, did you go alone or did you bring the party?
I would have at least brought Alessandra, but if other people wanted to come with me, they could have. But I think I would tell people, I'm going to actually make a visit to my old apartment, and you don't have to come if you don't want to. It's probably going to be very dull, but up to you.
Garl speaks up. I don't think we should go anywhere around here by ourselves.
You look around and Cassandra's not there. She actually has wandered away to the library to see what's left.
Oh, fair enough.
So, who would like to go with Cassandra? Who would like to go with Nimbus? Alessandra.
Garl's immediately going to go look for Cassandra.
Alessandra will go with Nim.
Lynx turns to see Garl leave, but also turns to see Nimbus leave with Alessandra, and doesn't entirely know what to do without feeling like a third wheel, and winds up doing nothing.
Well, there is still Chip.
Chip is going to try and chaperone Nim.
Hot.
As
remember to keep space between you for Desna.
Space for Desna.
Well, Desna doesn't mind.
Yes, Chip.
I didn't say what she was doing in that space.
Yes, we will keep space for Desna so she can join in. And you go. We'll do Nim's apartment team, and we'll say that Lynx then went with Garl and Cassandra.
Sure.
Just to keep it 3 and 3. So, Nim, Alessandra, and Chip make their way into Nimbus's apartment. It has been untouched.
Chip does speak up about one thing, though.
Yes.
I know this may come as a bit of a shock, Nim, but I don't think you're going to get your deposit back.
Oh, no. I mean...
No.
I'm kind of surprised any of the furniture is left here at all, considering I haven't paid rent for... I mean... It's coming up on a year now, at least 7 or 8 months. So...
Oh, you're so brave.
I mean, to be fair, for the last few months, there has been a quite literal freeze on rent.
I mean, of course, I don't know what happened to the owner, so who knows?
Who can
anyway,
say
dropped into a tub of leeches.
God.
But yes, the apartment is completely untouched.
Like I said, I'm scouring it like top to bottom because I do not believe that no one has been in here because, like, Nim is a wanted criminal in Treladar, and Treladar had control of the area. Mm-hmm. Like, why would they not?
Could I do a perception check to help? I do have legendary perception.
Yes, make me a perception check.
46.
Hidden in Nimbus's closet. Probably towards the back where Nim would have kept their more, like, the clothing that they really liked, but their parents didn't like seeing them in.
Cut-offs?
Near that area, which all that clothing is still there, mind you. Tucked into one of the more, like, risque outfits is what appears to be a letter.
I open it.
Nimbus. First letter, the first, like, bits of the letter just says your name, Nimbus. Do you continue to open it and look at it?
Oh, well, I mean, okay. I will do, like, a read aura to make sure it's not a trap.
And no magic.
No magic?
No.
Can I use that 45 perception check to see if there's anything else funky about it that I need to worry about?
No, there's nothing funky about the letter. It's just a letter.
Oh, well then, yeah, I definitely read it.
Alright. Yeah, so you pop it open. Nimbus, comma, and then there's some space. If you're finding this letter, you've made it back to your home. I'm glad. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're finding out much about us on this journey. And I'm sure you have some mixed feelings about myself and your father.
Oh.
Should you find yourself in Trelidar, know that Alwyn Mavericken will have a safe place for you to stay in Divinus. Be weary, as things have become complicated here during the recent times and with your successes. Gunther says hi, though I anticipate if you are there, you will see them shortly.
What the fuck? Is that it?
Yep. Well,
is there a date on it?
It would have been dated 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just to make sure I got all that, the safe house theoretically is Alwyn Maverickson?
Yeah, Alwyn Maverickson.
Oh, I don't know if I trust that.
If you'd like, you can make a society check on the name.
I definitely will. Yeah, absolutely.
Can Chip assist with that?
Yes,
39?
I'd allow that. Or Chip could also make their own. This is a way to make the game. You don't know exactly what position they hold, but you know that they hold a position in high society in Trelidar.
I think Nim immediately continues to inspect the letter for any form of invisible ink, things that appear when you hold it over a steaming tea kettle, like all of those silly things. And I think I'm assuming she comes up empty.
For us, you think that there is something else to this letter, but the trigger for it is not mundane.
I cast Dancing Lights, which is my innate cantrip as an oracle, to see if that illuminates the situation.
As you create Dancing Lights, the lights begin to take a little bit of a more subtle form, almost taking the form of a night sky. Illuminating above the note, it adds another paragraph.
Ooh.
When you find me, my mind will not be all there. Our family has a talent for crystallizing memories.
Is that it?
Yes.
Ooh, I don't like that one bit because it makes me think of a certain barbarian friend who now I'm worried I'm responsible indirectly for hurting. Interesting.
Well, if you recall also, Cassandra's memories were in a crystalline form as well. That last time you found
And don't worry, Nim. Everyone heard Scarl.
Except
maybe Lynx. I don't think Lynx is hurt.
I don't think so either, now that you mention it.
Is there any indication of how this was delivered to this location?
It looks like it was just slipped in there. Very subtly, almost as if a masterful spy were to do it.
Okay. Which leads me to my next question. The quip about Gunther, was that in reference to when I traveled to Treladar, or now that I have traveled to Latania?
Now that you've traveled to Latania.
Nim double checks every orifice of the apartment, just in case there is a secret butler hiding there.
There is no secret butler hole.
You just had to say it that way.
Yes.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh me, oh my.
Oh me, oh my.
Not us harmonizing.
But we'll now jump over to Cassandra and Lynx and Garl. Cassandra, you make your way to the library first. And, unfortunately, the shelves have been emptied.
I don't like that.
The shelves are empty. There's empty chairs. There's empty tables. The books are shredded or gone.
Something, something, no more.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I start looking around for evidence as to who did this. Who would dare?
Yeah, make me a perception check.
How dare.
If I can find my sheet. Oh, there it is. Load. There we go. Ah, there we go. Took long enough.
Nice. As you're running about looking, you see at one of the doors to the library to like a office, there's a little bit of light coming up from underneath it.
Garl draws her blade.
Garl's not there yet.
Hot.
Cassandra got a head start on all of y'all.
Cassandra, like, sneak. Knock, knock, knock.
Door's
Oh boy.
unlocked. It slides open. And that light gives way to a view of what appears to be an outdoor space.
She'll sneak in.
As you sneak in, the door closes behind you and disappears.
Oh, okay. Well,
Garl and Lynx,
oopsies.
the two of you make it to the library, and nothing is there to be seen.
Oopsie.
Cassandra.
Garl just starts kind of yelling out for Cassandra.
You hear faint
I
yellings.
suppose I could hear Garl.
You hear the faint yellings of Garl.
I go, Garl? Garl, can you hear me?
Girlfriend.
As you're yelling that, turning the corner as if a mirror of you, maybe slightly younger, there is a shimmering figure. And as they turn, you just see their mouth moving, and they're like... And they point behind them, and you recognize the overlook. This is the overlook of your room. This is the overlook of the room that you knew when you were very young. Well, comparatively.
Trauma.
And as they're pointing and like just like almost like pleading with you, the light comes down and begins to envelop the area and blinds you for a moment. And then you're just in an office. And Garl opens the door behind you, and there's Garl.
Door slightly comes off the hinges.
Cassandra's on the floor, kind of balled up, just like, I didn't like that.
And scoop. Scoops you off the floor. Let's go somewhere where there are books.
So
I like
true.
books. I do.
Yes, I know you like books.
Lynx just kind of watches this happen and goes,
Thanks. Do you have any books? Just
puts
it could
away
be
my formula book.
could just be a small book.
This book is not small, but I don't know how interesting it would be to her.
Cassandra reaches her hand out, like, give
Okay.
me. She
There,
starts
there.
reading.
Rocking you gently as we walk back to where the group was.
Are you learning, son?
Yeah, Dad. I'm learning real good.
Learning real good.
Carl is very confused by this exchange.
The two groups meet up.
Cassandra just kind of like grabs Nim by the hood. She's like, Nim.
Yes.
You can sense magical things, probably in a way better than I can, especially right now. There's a room I need you to take a little look-see at.
I mean, you just always have Read Aura up, right, Nim?
Yeah, if you want me to
So,
go look up the specifics of Third Eye.
Directly around Cassandra right now is a transmutation aura incredibly similar to that of the Instrument of Woe.
Oh no.
They put me back in my room, Nim. They put me back in my room. I worked so hard to get out of that room, and they put me back.
Sent you to your room.
Curse you to sing? Never mind.
She's
Never mind.
coping.
Understood. Well,
I was yelling at myself. Nim. Nim, I was yelling at myself. I've never yelled at
me. You're yelling at me right now.
Start rocking a little harder.
Oh,
wait.
Carl.
Should I put her down?
Well, interesting thing. So the transmutation aura that I clocked on the Instrument of Woe is the same precise aura that is surrounding you right now. Cassandra.
Do you think I was actually really in my room?
No, I don't think you were really in your room. I think... Well... I don't know what to think. I guess perhaps it could have transformed the office space temporarily. Although I'd imagine that would be more illusory than transformative, but I don't know.
I'm not happy about what just happened, I don't think.
No, I would not be happy if I were in your shoes either.
I just wanted to know what happened to the books. All the books are gone. All of them.
No books.
Oh.
Nim would know, Trelladar does have a habit of basically any areas they capture looting their libraries and taking as much knowledge from the populace as possible. They think uneducated masses are easier to control.
Ooh, I don't like that. Music person.
The good news is, the books are probably okay. The bad news is that they are in Treladar's hands and were deliberately stolen so that the people of Brighthall wouldn't be able to use the knowledge from them.
You know, that tracks. They did have a really good library.
Yep, they did. And now Cassandra knows where all those books came from.
Oh dear.
Trelladar, the Hobby Lobby of librarians.
Well, I guess I can go into that office space and take a look. Will, to give you the specifics of Third Eye, it reads, you continuously see magic auras as a 9th level detect magic spell, except you see the location of all auras within 30 feet, not just the strongest.
Okay.
If you use a seek action to study a creature you see, you can perceive an aura that conveys knowledge of that creature's health, including all conditions and afflictions it has, and an approximate percentage of its remaining hit points.
I will say that, like, because you have the detect magic up, you could have easily noticed the huge transmutation order around Cassandra and just read it quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going back to the room, no aura. It looks like it's entirely centered around her.
She's internalized it.
Doing aura cleansing, I think.
Yes, please.
I don't know how to do that.
Isn't that what we were doing in the hot tub last night?
No, that was
I mean, I thought we were getting pretty clean in that. It was pretty hot.
A thing can be two things.
Nimbus, you're playing your hand far too close to your chest.
I also found this, and I don't know quite what to do with it, because it's a little disturbing, and, well, just read it for yourself. And I fork over the letter about, from my mother, apparently, and I'm assuming, like, it is, for all intents and purposes, like, it looks like it's from her, like, it's in her handwriting.
It's her handwriting. It's not signed, but that may have been, like, a precaution.
So I have access to the spell Retrocognition as a staff spell, and I want to cast it on the Instrument of Woe, but I also want to cast it on this letter, and I'm just trying to decide what I want to do.
Well, remember, you have multiple charges a day.
It is a 7th level spell. I will not be able to cast it twice.
No.
Because the staff has charges equal to your spellcasting level, which is 9?
Yes. And you use 1 charge per spell that you cast.
For some reason, I was thinking it was 1 charge for spell level.
No, that's D&D 5e.
Teehee, never mind. Then I guess I do it twice and hope it doesn't kill me, because it's a stinker. Nim briefs the party and says, I know a spell, Retrocognition, that may allow me to look over the, histories of both of these items. The letter might be a little bit faster, as I don't know how long the symbols have been here. But basically, per minute of casting the spell, and I can sustain it as long as I can, unless I see something really traumatic, and then the spell may end. It's just a matter of how long I need to sustain the spell.
Just out of curiosity, are we like just standing in the street doing this?
Yes. Nimbus.
Okay.
I thought we were in like the library, the empty library.
Nimbus, if you'd like, we could.
Oh yeah, because we went to see the room. Yeah.
Could we do this while we were on the move, perhaps?
If you need to concentrate, I can carry you.
Oh, thank you, Carl. That's very sweet. Yeah, I don't know if I would be able to like walk and do this. It's a little bit of an involved process.
I mean, I'm thinking.
Why is there somewhere we need to be?
Well, I mean, I thought we wanted to head back to base. Yes.
Well, yes, at some point.
So if we're going to
if necessary, Nim, we could rig up some sort of portable chair that Garl could wear on her back, so you could sit in a chair while looking backwards while we all walk forwards.
I mean, we could simply get into the vehicle that we brought here and begin flying back.
Didn't that crash?
Yes, but
I thought we landed it safely because we made
okay.
It was a crash landing, but it was a safe crash landing.
Okay, so the thing wasn't wrecked. We're not anyone going to the Savage Lands.
Yes, with a few minor repairs, I should be able to get it up and running again.
I can probably assist with that.
Yes, if we want to work on that, perhaps whilst Nim is doing this.
I think that would be quite sensible.
All right. Yeah, you head back to that area, and then Nim, you're able to kind of sit down in the car and get to work. What would you like to do first?
I think I will do the letter first. So Retrocognition, I will read it for everyone because I cannot really put it in chat. It's a staff spell. It reads, opening your mind to occult echoes. You gain impressions from past events that occurred in your current location. Retrocognition reveals the psychic... This is the location one. I need the other one. I need object reading, which is this one. You place your hand on an object to learn a piece of information about an emotional event that occurred. I actually may have to be in the location for this then. Shoot. I read it incorrectly. I don't know my spells.
It was a good idea until it wasn't.
Can we retcon that I was able to do that?
Yeah, we can retcon that we were able to do that. That's fine.
Sure.
Retrocognition reveals psychic impressions from events that occurred over the course of the last day throughout the first minute of the duration, followed by impressions of the next day back the next minute, and so on and so forth. These echoes don't play out like a vision, but instead reveal impressions of emotions and metaphors that provide cryptic clues and details of the past. If you witness a traumatic or turbulent event through an impression, the spell ends unless you succeed a will save with a DC of at least 30 and possibly as much as 50, depending on the severity of the event. The GM determines whether an event is traumatic and chooses the DC.
So I think for the letter, unfortunately you won't be able to get back to the writing of the letter based on this, but you would be able to get back to the placement of it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone sworn to service, breaking the vow they made, while upholding it at the same time. And then as for the room, memories brought back, dragging their owner to them. That's what you get.
When you let your heart win.
And I'll say, while you're doing this, Alessandra's gone off and fixed the car, and now the car is basically out front of the library, ready to go.
I think I may also cast object reading. It is like an emotional event that happened surrounding that object.
Mm-hmm.
However, perhaps like the writing of the letter was an emotional event. Or perhaps like the placement of the castanets was an emotional event. Because that's kind of what I was looking for details about, was not just like the room in the
I thought it had to be
library?
specific to like that time. What level were you doing it at? 7th, right? What level is it on the staff?
Object reading is it's low level. I don't know if I can heighten it or not.
You cannot heighten it on the staff. So
Okay.
you have the low level one that you use. That's why I gave you the information that I did.
Interesting. Yeah, also the retrocognition, I wasn't necessarily talking about the office room. I was talking about the castanets and like the armory room.
Oh, the castanets?
The instrument of woe. That's what I was.
You would have just seen them appear
talking
out
about.
of thin air, like almost like they almost just like fell out of reality and landed on the ground.
All right. All right. Well, then I will prepare object reading tomorrow and see if I can get any more information about the letter. But yeah, I guess that's what we get then.
Yeah.
For now.
Ready to go, Nim?
Yes, I suppose. I didn't quite learn as much as I was hoping to, but I do have a suspicion of who might have placed the letter there. And I'm a little bit worried we might run into, my old butler, actually.
As you were all getting into the car and like getting ready to go, you hear like a bit of a cough, like a
I swear to God, if Gunther's behind me right now.
Lady Nimbus, I've packed your items, and they begin walking towards the floating car.
I'm sorry. Is that what you're going to say to me after over a year of absence with no word, no sending, no nothing?
I do apologize. Lady Nimbus, I have packed your items, and I must say your father would not approve of your current relationship.
Good! Also, who the hell are you to tell me about my current relationship? Where have you... Where have you been? Where did you come from? Why are you here? What do you want?
Oh, I've been here. I've just been observing until now. I didn't want to jump until you are all ready to go. All right, into the cart. And they just put
Absolutely
some
not.
suitcases.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Can Garl pick this person up by the scruff?
Absolutely.
Yes, Garl, you can pick this butler up by the scruff. Ah,
no,
nice.
like the back, like a misbehaving puppy.
Yes, you can. Ah, Garl, excellent. Pleasure to finally meet you.
I am not speaking to you.
Oh.
Except for that.
You've just spoken to me. I apologize. Your dossier did say something like this may happen.
Can I break his neck?
No,
Oh, please
no,
don't. I need my neck.
I don't think so.
I wasn't asking you, Buttle Man.
Buttle Man!
Gunther, please, Garl. We are companions now.
That's a very
Cassandra.
bold statement.
I was about to say, loving that assertion. Really big fan of that.
Cassandra just asks, "Are you the one? Are you the one? Did you make me see things?
No.
Did you?"
Cassandra, I'm a butler, not a mage. That's why I'm here.
Did you bring anything that could make me see things?
If I were in Treladar right now, I would be a human battery.
What does that mean? What are you talking about? I don't understand. You're not answering any questions.
No, I'm trying to, but your friend is currently holding me by the scruff of the neck, and you keep interrupting me every 2 minutes.
Human battery.
I would be a little nicer, sir. My hand is very close to your neck, and my other is very close to my sword, and you look like a kebab.
I think you would have a better luck with your hand than your sword.
I don't understand what that means, but I imagine I could still solve my problem one way or another.
I don't know what that means.
But yes, Lady Nimbus, time is of the essence. The report I left for Trevrin should be being read to the Resistance shortly, so...
Chip's little ears peek up at that.
What on earth have you been doing near Drevrin?
Working for the man?
Come again?
Working for the man?
I'm sorry. Am I meant to believe that Drevrin hired you after you murdered his father in cold fucking blood?
Oh, not cold blood, lukewarm blood, but, yes, he placed the crown on his head and he saw the merits.
I'm under the impression this is somewhat of a joke to you.
No, simply business links.
What was that about a human battery again?
Yes, human battery. Anyone non-talented. Life force can be turned into magical essence. In the report.
Okay. Cassandra gets on the ship. She's like, "Oh god, here we go
Can
again."
I just like bop him on the head to knock him out?
If you'd like, you can certainly try.
No. I'm sorry, but what do you think we're supposed to do with you? We can't just bring you back to the Resistance base.
I mean, Drevrin will speak to my attachment to...
Oh, I have a possible solution to this. And Garl, out of her pack, pulls her secondary weapon that she's never really had a chance to use yet. The Chains of Compliance.
Oh.
Admittedly, to use the compliance part, I'd actually have to attack him, but I can wrap him in the chains.
If you'd like.
So at the very least, I would speak as least as possible.
If you'd like.
I
can remain here. I can just walk to the Resistance base. It'll be a matter of days for me, but...
Why does no one listen to me?
How do you know where it is?
It's in Lionberg. But if I remember correctly, it's in Alessandra's old manor. By the way, Nimbus, personal note, the arc there is very you.
What?
You know, childhood bully to relationship. Very, very you, Nimbus.
The arc?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
Character arc.
Yeah.
Who says that about
Cassandra
a
twirling her hair.
I do.
Cassandra's like in the
in the
machine.
arc.
She's just like, pop.
Can we go?
Do the rest of you want to bring a Trelladin assassin into the Resistance base?
Former Trelladin assassin.
I mean, if Garl is willing to chain him up and possibly sit on him. He could be a source of information, and as Garl pointed out, she can probably like pull his head off if we need her to.
And
I mean, this is true.
Drevrin will vouch for me when we return. It's
assuming he's not compromised.
Well, in that case, there's all the more reason to get back to base quicker than later.
Okay. Fine, just make sure he doesn't go anywhere or do anything, or don't eat anything he gives you.
Garl is not only going to wrap him in the chains, but is also going to take a sock out of her bag and stuff it in his mouth, so he cannot speak.
As you go to take the sock, he just puts his finger up, takes his own off, and just...
He is wrapped in chains. He cannot do anything.
He's wrapped in chains. And then he just like...
How is he pulling his sock off?
He takes one of his hands out. Takes the thing
casually
off, puts it back, and then puts himself back into the chains. It's more of a power move on his part.
And I don't appreciate that.
Do we have anything more secure?
I mean, do we have a bunch of diamonds for resurrection? I could just kill him, and then we can resurrect him when we need him.
Oh, but that's expensive.
It is expensive.
I mean, Garl, you could just sit on him.
Garl is going to sit on him.
There you go.
Lucky.
And yeah,
you don't know how good you've got it.
How heavy is Garl, I wonder? Jeez.
After a short time and a flight, you guys return back to the Resistance base.
Chip, as a favor to Nim, tries to drive over every pothole.
Yeah, you do.
I don't remember if it's actually a car. It might be
it's like a floating thing. So
okay, we'll hit low-hanging tree branches,
hit, like rough air and such. Yeah, and yeah, eventually you make it back to the base. You all land, and you all exit the flying machine. Gunther just kind of like sits up in the chair waiting for instruction. As you're all exiting, Ascendancy comes running. We've received some rather troubling news, everyone. Drevrin has a full report.
Yes, Drevrin. I'm assuming he's here at base?
Yes, Drevrin is currently at the mess area.
Prepare a room for us to meet in. We have troubling news of our own.
All right.
Chip just raised his hand.
Good to see you
My
again.
office.
Why are you chained up?
Let's go. Let's take this to my office. My office is possibly the most secure room in the base.
Okay.
Also, I have several guns secreted away in various places, so if we need them.
Sock out of mouth. Yes, you have several hidden in your dresser, 3 above the cupboard, and 2 that you keep underneath the different chairs.
I don't like you.
It concerns me, Will, that you keep making NPCs that are supposed to be helpful, but we all just want to murder.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of, where is Aranari?
Aranari is currently enjoying the amenities that this Resistance base has to offer.
Aranari on the beach with a margarita.
No, more Aranari with a whole bunch of these young adults, with him being like, yes, and if you do this type of experiment, it works incredibly well.
Okay, I was worried that sentence was going in a very different direction.
No, it's basically
also same.
I think it also goes in that direction.
It's Aranari.
Yeah.
It's Aranari teaching people.
Yeah, he's like lounging on a chair with a book, but his shirt's like half open.
Yeah.
There's no HR department in this university anymore, so...
But yes, you're able to get to Chip's office. Drevrin is brought there. Drevrin just kind of like, Nimbus, Gunther is currently under my employ. And technically a mother's employ.
Which is it? It can't be both.
No, it is both. There's extenuating circumstances.
I don't suppose anyone has the equivalent of a Zone of Truth spell.
Not currently prepared.
Actually, maybe.
Though Drevrin does have that fancy truth sword.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, at this point, I think everyone in the room could pass it fairly easily.
Yes, you could.
I got it.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, pop it into chat, Cassandra.
Good.
And I think as you cast it, Drevin will choose to fail, as will Gunther, as will Ascendancy, as will Sandra.
Oh, interesting.
I'll fail it too, just in case.
I guess I will attempt a will save, or unless it is designated creatures, so I don't think you have to target people.
Oh.
I'll target myself just in case. I don't want to be accused of anything.
Just everyone gets targeted because Cassandra's casting.
Chip will voluntarily fail. Garl, unfortunately by instinct, will attempt to resist.
Fair.
Garl resists.
This is Lynx's first time dealing with a spell like this.
Again, I don't think we're targeted unless Cassandra specifically says otherwise.
I think Cassandra's like low-key targeting everybody, even though she doesn't mean to.
Fair enough,
but
then
is going to be
also
fun.
pop a will save.
Aww.
That's also a 47.
Sad face.
Lynx.
Lynx, that's a failure. You can't speak any deliberate lies. Aranari also will show up and choose to fail.
Oh, goddammit.
Oh, yes! I was hoping, but also dreading it, but also hoping.
So Aranari also shows up?
Yep, Aranari's shown up as well.
He says,
what on earth do you have to contribute to this conversation, Aranari?
Insight on Treladar's operating procedures and the spells that they're using to conduct them.
Telling the truth.
I don't think you've been a very fair ally to us. If this is the kind of information you keep to yourself.
I mean, to be... Nimbus, you are the one who suggested that I employ them.
My initial suggestion involved nothing of the sort. My initial suggestion when I talked to you over a year ago in your own palace was that we work together directly. And then I did not hear from you at all.
Well, you told me to make use of him.
No, I didn't.
Ray?
I told him to
Ray.
leave. And you let him go.
I should have really told you about that. Fair enough.
You really fucking should have, Drevin.
No, Gunther's been working for me and your mother.
And you just didn't feel like that was important information to tell me?
It was information that we needed to keep from you for some time.
Why?
Gunther kind of like... Gunther's still the chains. Gunther kind of just like lifts up a chin as if raising a hand.
What?
Your mother specifically asked us to do so. She wasn't sure as to what your protections from scrying would be, and she was worried that if you knew this information, she would find this information out.
And what are your protections from scrying?
Simply your mother's implicit trust in me.
What is that? What?
Doesn't
make any sense.
That sounds explicitly to me like they trust your mother more than you.
It does, doesn't it?
No, she trusts us more than you. That's different. That's why she had to leave.
That sounds like bullshit to me. Lynx looks down at himself as he says that.
It's why she had me leave the letter for you in your former apartment.
If her concern is that someone would scry on me and find out this information, then should she not have had the same concern about you? Do you have any protections? I do.
I do not have any protections. Her concern was her scrying on you and finding out this information.
But wouldn't she already know this information?
No. Have you not found the letter? Did you read the full letter, Nimbus?
I did, but...
The entire letter.
This doesn't make any sense.
Did you...
I don't understand.
There is a certain sect of your family you have not met. specifically one of your grandparents.
I thought my grandparents passed before I was born.
Your grandparents did, yes. However, your great-grandmother remains alive.
How so?
She has reached a certain pinnacle of magic that has allowed her to sustain her body.
This is Lucinda, yes?
Yes. Now, your mother, not agreeing with what Trelodar does, but needing to be part of what they do in order to receive information, has been working with her and has been voluntarily having her memories taken from her and then re-given and then taken.
For what purpose?
So that she can get information to myself and Drevrin.
Could she not just send you ascending?
Unfortunately, Trelodar keeps a very strict eye on magical transmission nowadays.
Then why did they assume we were dead? I had been sending my parents sendings once they attacked Brighthall, and they were not kind, but they were numerous, and Trelodar would have known about them. Theoretically, my parents responded to a few of them.
It is generally agreed upon by Trelodar's higher-ups that pretending you are dead in front of the masses is important. They don't want the people who could solve their problem of them. Well, they don't want the people who could essentially stop them being seen as alive. It's bad for morale.
I suppose it benefited us both then.
But yes, if I may give that report now. Drevrin kind of just like sticks up a finger. Trelodar is pushing forward with their plans to, well, Nimbus, you know this, with their plans to incorporate multiple schools of magic into a single spell. Specifically, they have began basically collecting the components they need to do this successfully. And my understanding is they're planning on using it to cast a spell that could mimic the lenses of creation in scope and devastation. Now, granted, the spell would need a power source, and well, the lenses of creation had one very particular, very powerful source, as he kind of looks towards Cassandra.
Cassandra just...
Trelodar not having access to it any longer, and knowing that they will not have access to it, and quite frankly, under my dead body would they only have access to it, have changed their methodology. Arnari speaks up. Yes, and it's partially my fault, I'm afraid.
Of course it is.
My research bore a certain amount of fruit. That life essence could very easily be converted into magical power.
Why are you smiling? That's a horrible thing to say.
It's very much just my general... It's how I deal with the terrible things I've done, I suppose. But...
I didn't miss you.
I know. In all seriousness, they have begun, from my understanding, siphoning life essence from the untalented and mages who lack a certain level of ability.
Cassandra says, "Excuse me for 1 minute," and she just turns, finds a pillow, and screams into it. And then takes a deep breath and continue.
What were you saying?
Thusly, essentially beginning to charge up the magical batteries they need to cast the spell. Drevrin continues.
Nice.
It's my understanding that based on the time frame we have and what Gunther's told us, that we have about 3, maybe 4 weeks at the most until they're ready to cast that spell.
Well, I suppose it's good that we managed to dispatch one dragon quite promptly.
With our airships, we could get to Treladar in a matter of days, and honestly, I think we're going to need Lutania's forces with us if we're going to have a chance at taking them down.
I don't particularly want to go back to Treladar, but
well, would you
rather?
We
don't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
Granted, we can get people there. Like, we can get you all on the smaller ship. We've repaired Gwendolyn's old vessel. We can get you into the city. We can get you somewhere inside of Treladar safely. It's just a matter of you all finding a spot to enter.
I mean, there is the name my mother gave us in the letter. Am I truly meant to believe that she means us no ill will?
Your mother in her current state would kill you on sight.
Comforting.
Okay.
However, your mother in the state when she wrote the letter is an ally to you. As you can see, and Gunther kind of like jiggles a hand loose and gestures towards Cassandra and then puts it back. A person's memories can make up a lot of their personality and a lot of the things that they care about. And being separated from them from a short time means there's not much difference, but in your case, after being separated for such a long time, well, the personality that you prefer took hold.
So, I am to understand that she is systematically wiping and re-entering her memories by means of Lucinda? Does that mean Lucinda is also helping us somehow?
Yes, Lucinda has been working as well.
That I do not trust, given her history with Treladar. Given what she did to Garl?
Hmm?
Ah, yes, the incident with that. Fair enough. That's an understandable mistrust to have, Nimbus.
And you've done nothing to assuage it?
I can't. It's not my place to. I don't have any information to the subject. I just...
All of this talk about my mother and nothing of my father, where does he stand on this?
Oh, he is 100%, for lack of a better word, drank the Kool-Aid.
Never had Kool-Aid.
He has...
Flavor Aid.
He has fully fallen into Treladar's industrial machine and has taken a very high liking to his status.
Gods help us all.
Did Lucinda ever mention why she agreed to take my memory away?
It was on your order. I was given a little bit of information, knowing that some questions may pop up. I can't answer everything, but I'll do my best. Cassandra, before you were Cassandra, you were Corellia, as you know. You specifically ordered Lucinda to take your memories. Aranari pipes up, yes, from my understanding, she was another one of your students.
Oh boy.
Well.
Never had quite the same talent as me, I suppose, though. And Aranari tosses their hair.
Thank gods.
Exhausting.
Alright, well, I've said my piece and I've helped out. I'm going to get back to blowing up dragons. Peace. Aranari.
Oh, no, we'll miss you so much.
Floats
Aranari, no.
Arnor.
Aranari.
Aranori.
Aranori.
Has there been any word about Ragnaphon recently?
That name's unfamiliar to me.
Probably for the best.
So, Garl kind of just raises a hand. Who she has been having a hard time following any of this. Are we still going to need to fight more dragons, or is this now a more important thing we have to do?
I don't think the dragons are negotiable.
I think the objective is to still liberate Latania. Without their forces and resources, I don't know if we'll have what we need to fight Treladar head on.
Well,
in other words, dragons.
So this is just what we've learned is just more pressure.
It just means that we need to get it done faster. That's all.
Okay. Well, then are we gonna head out right away again? Are we gonna have something to eat, or?
I don't know.
I'm hungry.
I can eat.
Everyone else is like, I can eat, and Nim's like having an existential crisis.
I mean,
Lynx is watching Nim have an existential crisis.
Chip.
Tim, are you all right? And remember, the truth spell is still going. Oh wait, no, you passed. But goddamn.
Not only did I pass with a will save for the fucking oracles, that is a critical success. So I don't even take the status penalty.
Chip reassuringly kind of pats you on the leg because again he is very short. It's not a terrible suggestion. A bit of food, letting yourself process everything we've just learned. Can't solve everything right away, so.
I will, I'll just create the food myself, I think. That'll be easiest.
If you
Good
wish.
soup.
Good soup.
So,
he is already making some tea, though, because this is his office. In addition to hidden guns, there are hidden tea and biscuits everywhere.
Jesus.
Record player, he bops on the side, it flips over, it turns into a kettle.
As one does.
Yes. Or a gramophone, I suppose.
Can I cast Detect Poison on Gunther?
Yes.
I do so.
Back left tooth, poisonous.
Oh!
Is that a contingency plan, then?
It is something that has been inside of my mouth for a very long time.
How long?
Since you were a child.
Chip thinks, I'm not entirely sure it would be still potent then. Things have a shelf life. These aren't, magical isotopes.
Would an expired poison make it more or less deadly?
Oh, I change it out every 3 to 4
I mean,
years.
Possibly less deadly, but possibly it could still make you just very uncomfortable and sick.
I change it out every 3 to 4 years so it keeps its potency.
How long have my parents been planning this?
Your parents were brought in when Treladar last arrived in Latania, when they cast that spell that you helped out with.
Then why has this been necessary since I was a child?
Oh, I've always been a member of the espionage.
So how did you come into my parents' employ?
Oh, I was assigned to them.
By
They
whom?
were powerful mages leaving Treladar. They needed to make sure that their secrets were never spilled.
So higher-ups in Treladar, do you know their names?
Technically speaking, the unit I worked with only really answered to the Archmage themselves, but I was assigned by my unit's head.
Were they aware of this at any point?
Of this? No. Or of the poison?
Of your assignment to their house?
Oh, until recently, no.
What's
So
the name of the current Archmage?
That's a very good question. It's been some time since I've been to Treladar.
What was the name of the one who you primarily worked with?
The one that I was working under was Lucian. But they were very old at that time. I can't see them having the spunk in their step to start war. Perhaps From my understanding, there's a new Archmage in charge.
So then your involvement in my life was purely a job then?
At the beginning, I took quite the liking to you, Nimbus. You grew into quite the fine young lady. It was nice to have a family I could never have.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I mean, he is still saying this under the effects of a truth spell, so...
Yes, but...
In his mind, he means it.
Yeah. Thanos loved Gamora. Still tossed her off a cliff.
Feels as though once again my fate is in your hands, Nimbus. Do with me as you will.
Want to do?
Maybe have some soup and think it over.
No, I'm asking him. You've been following orders for longer than I've been alive. What do you want to do?
I honestly do not know. I do not feel right when I'm not working. Your mic is not picking you up, Nimbus.
I think that is a very sad thing.
That is yours.
Stay away from the kitchens. That's my only request.
I mean, I could keep sitting on him.
That would kill me eventually, Garl.
I mean, everything kills us all eventually.
I think he'd escape eventually, Garl, anyway, with all due respect.
I mean, I would have to go to the bathroom occasionally.
You would. I think I'm going to adjourn to my, well, Elisandra's quarters, if that's all right with you, Elisandra.
Yep, but you're not going alone.
I appreciate that.
I'm sure you do.
Good.
I'm just not really in the mood right now, but...
Oh, a little comfort snuggle will be, I'm sure, very reassuring.
Oh, a little comfort snuggle. Wow.
We might go a little bit over tonight.
Ooh.
Oh.
A little bit over. I love it.
Yeah, with that, basically, assuming you allow him to be unchained, Gunther's unchained, and they will make themselves scarce.
Gunther's Unchained. Hello.
That's the funniest thing you've ever fucking said.
Hello.
Drevner makes the comment that we really should get moving, so perhaps one more night of rest and then head south towards the next closest city, which would technically be Nomsla, the plant-covered one.
Sandra falls asleep in her soup.
Oh God.
Garl, as you see Cassandra falling asleep in their soup, you actually see Drevin like pointedly like coming by and just like putting her in like a more comfortable position and then walking off.
Iconic.
Sad boy.
No, not even a sad boy, just like, you common human decency.
Couldn't be me.
Garl's like, I wanted to save her from drowning in her soup.
Sorry, Garl. So, Nimbus, as you make your way up to Elisandra's spot, sitting there waiting for you with a very nice looking tea set is Gwendolyn and Beatrix. And then Elisandra just kind of sits down as well. I made us tea. Elisandra said we would need tea, Gwen says.
Please take no offense to this, but I detect poison on the tea tray.
It is not poisoned.
Beautiful.
Actually, technically, Gwen's is slightly poisoned.
Gwendolyn, there's
She
poison in your
spiked it.
tea.
Yes, it's alcohol, Nimbus.
You should have some without alcohol, just in case it's poisoned a different way as well.
Poison
camouflage.
Takes the tea, walks over towards the plant, dumps the tea in a plant, pours herself a fresh cup.
The plant bursts into pustules and keels over. No.
Tag yourself on plant.
What a mess.
Rough day?
Yes. Started off bad. There were hags. And then we killed the hags, and that was good. And then there was a necromancer dragon, and that was bad. And then we killed the necromancer dragon, and that was good. And then we found an instrument of woe back from the dead, which was very, very bad.
As you're rambling, Alessandra just kind of stops for a second and says, "Oh, as it occurs to me, Nimbus, technically, you met my family for the first time in our relation. That's odd." Huh.
That's odd.
And just like, you see her look like she's about to cry, and just like, a head on her shoulder. It was like, poof.
She just like, she takes your shoulder, she takes her head, sits you down, and basically has you put your head in her lap.
Thank you. I'm sorry, like, that's how we had to meet your family.
I mean, quite personally, I couldn't think of a better way to do it.
Oh, I'm glad that's how you feel. If it's any consolation, I'm sure the first time you meet my family, it is not going to be much better.
I don't know if I'm going to accompany you to Treladar.
Yeah. That's fair.
I am confident in my abilities, but I also don't want to get in your way.
I don't think you could ever get in my way. You may distract me, though. But that's not necessarily a negative thing.
There's like a slight cough from Beatrix.
Hello. Sorry, did you...
Oh, no, I was just coughing. Sorry. Yes, I've been drinking it. It's good.
It's good tea.
Good tea.
You like tea?
I was told to be here for moral support. Apparently you've had some shit. I have a stress ball here. And just hands you like this like stress ball that's in like the shape of like a banana.
Thank you. Just squeezes.
Merle thanks you for not squeezing me like that. I would die.
Merle, I feel like Merle is also like cuddled all up in there.
Yeah.
Stress ball shaped like an owl egg.
But I think like
little kinglet.
As Nim has this sort of like moment of respite and this moment of support, Gwen kind of just like comes and like puts her hand like just like on yours, like holding you. B does the same thing, and like there's this lovely pose of like these four friends just like supporting their one friend. And this sort of like tableau of cute. And as we zoom out from that tableau of cute, we make our way to Treladar, where the streets are clean and bustling. A festival is being held as posters that say, "Wartime efforts successful on all fronts."
Yeah, I bet they do.
Yeah.
As you see people walking about this, as you see mages floating above the skyline, you see people walking down below the streets. The party a little bit less intense down there, but still a party. But it looks like just everyone just looks drained. And as that very clear dichotomy and split is made, and as we come back to our party prepping for the next day, that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Okay.
The stakes were here. Now they're here.
So thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of the League of Amazing Adventurers. Don't forget to check out our many other shows here on the channel, like The Calling Chronicle on Friday, The Strength of Thousands 8 p.m. on Monday, and of course the other shows on the channel, and make sure to come back for next week so you can see what happens next. Let's see. We've not rated anyone in a while, so let's go say hi to some folks.
It has been a minute, huh?
It has been a minute since we've been able to raid another channel, so we're going to go say hi to some people. And I'm going to leave that as a bit of surprise in chat. Control V. Yeah, so thank you all so much for coming. Don't forget to check out other channels, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.